Ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, it's time for Below Grade Level. Listener beware, you're in for a scare.
Hello and welcome to Below Grade Level, the show where we take the books that we read as kids and read them as adults and ruin them. I'm one of your hosts, Jonathan Eaton, and with me as always are Bekah Eaton.
Hello.
And Chris Zaleski.
Hello.
Guys, it's been a long time.
Apparently.
It's been a long time.
You know how I know it's been a long time? Because when I went to, like, the amount of stuff that gets knocked over when I move my mic back into, like, recording position.
Yeah.
That's how I know how long it's been. Because I knocked a lot of stuff over when I tried to move my Yeti over to the front of my computer. Everything fell. It was a mess.
We took an accidental hiatus because the last book we read was Sweet Valley High number 3. I don't even remember what it was called. I just remember the way it made me feel, and the way it made me feel was bad.
But we always end up taking a
traumatizing.
hiatus around the holidays. Just
That's
too
true.
busy.
You can count us out for at least 3 months of the year.
Yeah, I mean the holidays for sure, but the last time we did an episode was like June of last year.
That's insane. That doesn't seem right at all.
It's Francine Pascal's fault. Blame her.
Our
Anyway,
dedicated listeners are writing in their podcast journals, their official below grade level journals, which we should get on that.
we should get on that.
They're writing in it now, like it's been 3 months. They have posted a new episode.
We're back.
Today is a
2023.
great day.
We're starting a new book, and we have a really great guest coming back to the show. I don't remember the last time you were on it, but back to the show. Please welcome John Nagle.
Hey, how's
Hey.
it going? Thanks for having me again. When was the last time? I think it was like, when like people were like, "Oh, COVID will definitely kill you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It was
What
some
was-
point in the last year, and by year I mean 3 years.
Yeah.
What was the book?
yeah, I don't remember.
It was the
I-
one. He kept thinking I was doing a Dennis
Andrew
Miller
Dice
impression.
Yeah, I thought you were doing
Oh.
Andrew Dice Clay when you were doing
Oh.
Cher. And
Yeah.
then-
Oh,
was
Cher.
that book?
Oh, yeah. Who are we doing Cher?
I think it was
fuck.
I think it was Fear Street.
Yeah. It
One
must
of-
have been
it was
that.
a Fear
Yes,
Street, but like,
I think it
can't
was.
remember.
Yeah, I think it was the first Fear Street, right?
It
I think it
wasn't
was
good.
the. No,
The one that took 18 episodes to do.
Was
Well-
that the Bone Ladder one?
No, that was
Okay.
fucking decades ago.
That's what I thought. That
Yeah.
was like Hamden.
No,
days.
by first I mean like literally
Decades.
Fear Street number 1. I think it was called The New Girl. It was called The New Girl. It was
Okay.
about that girl who's like we thought was ghosts or something. I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
Some bullshit like that. Well, thank you for coming back, John. And John, as the first guest of a new book, had the honor of picking the book that we are reading.
I'm so stoked.
He had a short list, and the book that he picked was called The Eternal Enemy, right?
Yes.
The Eternal Enemy by Christopher Pike. I'm going to share my screen and bring up the book so you guys can see what the cover looks like.
I'm so excited.
It's so dark. It's such a dark scan.
That is great.
Look at this magician man.
That is
Oh, no.
amazing.
Do you guys? Yeah. Chris, what do you see?
All right. Well, first you have the whole like top third of the book with the author's name, which I've always hated. Like, give me the title first. You also see a barcode for Florence High School, which is where this scan comes from. Best-selling author of Monster, Christopher Pike, and then you have a man doing like old school Dracula hands, and but there's like after images of him in the background.
It's like he's anamorphing into himself.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. It's like Animorphs, but there's no animal. He's just like morphing.
And as we scroll down, we see a young lady sitting on a couch watching the evening news on her television. And for some reason, she does not see that the guy's there. And then we have the
She's
title.
not facing the TV or pointing the remote at the
That's
TV.
true.
She's facing off to the side.
Okay, but this is 1992, so shouldn't she be watching like 90210 or something?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And then we have the title that seems to have been written in mustard and then ketchup. The Eternal Enemy. Someone had come for her.
This is the vaguest. I couldn't begin to tell you what this book is about.
Yeah, I have no idea now.
I'm really excited.
I saw the description and I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Is the eternal enemy like the spirit of television?
Probably.
Also, like,
Because
what
I'm on
is
his
this?
side.
The eternal
guy
enemy, the
looks
news.
like- yeah. This
Oh,
guy
man.
looks like a guy doing like a psychic TV show from the 90s. Like,
John
who
Edwards.
in the audience has a name that starts with a J?
Yeah, John Edwards, yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
first after image of him looks more sinister than him, and you can't really see the faces of the other repeated images. But it's just like, was he like, all right, Steve, calm down before we show up? Like, we want to have a straight
Yeah.
face, not a more
Look
like
normal.
I'm here to do murder face.
He looks like if someone took a floor buffer to Michael Ironside.
He's like, this is the first
He's in a turtleneck.
modeling job I've had in a long time.
Michael
I'm
Ironside wear
gonna,
turtlenecks?
I'm gonna make it count.
No.
Yeah, he looks like someone that thought like, hey, it worked for Yul Brynner.
He's like, you guys hired me to be a hand
That
model,
was
right?
a joke for John.
I got it. Thank you. Nobody does it better than Christopher Pike.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah.
It's got the little library
Florence High
card
High School.
thing.
Yeah.
The little library card pocket.
Oh, man, I love it.
The
I
dance
wonder when it's...
graduation.
Oh, Colorado.
Okay, Florence High
Oh
School.
my God. When was the last time it was checked
Oh,
out?
shit. Oh, my God. I love that they have...
Wait, does the card go over the first
I
chapter?
can't see the years.
Oh, God, I hope not. No.
It's probably a
1995.
preview.
It looks like the last one I can see.
All right.
I think so.
95
The next page is
chapters.
books by Christopher.
Oh,
Hold
wait.
on, just go up. Books by
Yeah.
Christopher Pike. May I read these?
Sure.
That's a lot.
Bury me deep. Chain letter 2. The ancient evil. Die softly. The eternal enemy. Fall in the darkness. Final friends number 1. The party. Final friends number 2. The
my
dance. Final friends number 3. The graduation. Give me a kiss. Last act. Master of murder. Monster. Remember me. We read that. Road
Oh,
to
man.
nowhere. Scavenger hunt. See you later. Spellbound. Whisperer of death and Witch. Available from Archway Paperback.
Give me a
Okay.
kiss.
Give me a kiss.
Thank you for
So
letting
can
me
you,
read that.
if you start, what was the one? If you start with chain letter 2, will
Yeah.
you be lost?
Yeah, like why didn't they list the first one?
Because
Like, is the publisher like the first one shit? Ignore it. Just start with
what
the
if
new
I
name.
can't find chain
Yeah.
letter 1? Will I not know what's going on?
Considering he probably writes the same book every time, I bet you're fine.
It's like that old Onion article. Even though I've never seen Major League, I found Major League 2 surprisingly easy to follow.
You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure I've only ever seen Major League 2.
I love
would,
both of those movies.
yeah, I would highly suggest watching Major League.
Like I don't follow sports, but there's some
Yeah.
sports movies that I
Major
love.
League 2 used to be on Comedy Central like all the time. Which is
Sports,
probably why I've seen it.
sports, real sports I don't care about. Sports movies, I'm all in. Because, there's drama and stuff like that.
Really great character work.
For Paul.
For Paul. He wrote this for Paul, the eternal enemy.
Wow, they're really like
Jesus
back and forth
Christ.
on every fucking page.
The person
Paul,
who
you
Blank
piece of
pages.
shit.
the person who was scanning this was like, I'm scanning every goddamn nook and cranny of this book.
Yeah, this is the
All
first
right.
one that they scan the individual pages.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
gonna.
I already love it.
Oh man, I'm gonna start.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna start us off, John. If you remember, we each take a page, so I'll read this one, and then we'll do Bekah, Chris, and then you, and then
Okay.
we'll go in that order. And I also didn't, John, I didn't like ask you your history with Christopher Pike because you've been on the show before. We don't need.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
get
and
into
like,
it.
my history isn't that interesting. I think I read one. I was a Judy Blume boy.
Ooh. Would you recommend one of those for this show?
I
I've
mean,
never read a Judy
Tales
Blume.
of a Fourth Grade Nothing is my favorite kids book of all time.
So it's probably good.
Yeah, we don't want to read it
it's-
if it's good.
But
Yeah.
like the teenage girl ones, like Blubber is mean.
Ooh.
It's about a fat girl.
Oh,
Sounds right.
yeah.
They call her Blubber because get it?
I get it. We were clever back then.
Oh, 1974.
Chapter 1. I was just a normal teenage girl. I love it already. I loved beautiful clothes and loud music. Long telephone conversations and sleepy summer evenings. Oh, fuck. I'm so out of practice reading out loud. It's going to be worse than usual. Most of all, I loved cookies and boys. My favorite cookies were chocolate chip with milk. You've got to have the milk to have cookies. That's what I always said. Mom always said you got to have the milk to have the cookies. My favorite boys? Well, actually, I had only one favorite boy. His name was Christopher Pike.
This fucking guy wrote a book with his own name as the favorite boy in it.
That's some Shyamalan bullshit. His name was Christopher Zaleski. My name is...
Rela?
Rela, right? It's gotta be Rela.
Rela sounds better than Rela, which is what I read.
Rela.
Okay, I'm going with Rela. My name is Rela. I just used
You can get there.
I just used to have to think Chris and Rela to get goosebumps, hoping that we would one day be together. Don't make me repeat it.
We don't say that word in this universe.
Duck pimples. Now when I think of us,
pimples.
That was what Sarah, when she sent us that goosebump short story, she called it duck pimples.
Oh, I've heard. Okay, yeah, I've heard goose.
Now when I think of us, I feel a lot different. Sad, very sad. But there is beauty in sorrow. I realize that now. I love Death Cab for Cutie.
Somebody just discovered the cure.
Yeah. Someone I knew well once said, I heard of this band called This Mortal Coil. Oh, fuck. Someone I knew well once said, if there was no sorrow in the world, there would be no compassion. That's how I feel as I begin this tale, filled with love for all the people of the world. My people. What the fuck is this? Okay. How fragile we all are. I love this so much. How fragile we all are. Time has a permanent hold on us the moment we're born. It allows us to grow, to get big. We go to school, we find jobs, we fall in love, get married, fuck, and have children. Time lets us do all these things. But then, in the end, it kills us. Time is like a friend.
Oh, I thought it was going to be time is the eternal enemy.
Me too!
Me too!
Time is like a friend.
Time is like a friend, but only for a time.
Time is like a friend.
Oh my god!
But only for a time.
Oh my god.
I love that Morrissey song.
Drinking game, drink every time she says time. You see, I don't have a lot of time to tell this story.
Yep.
My old friend has come for me. This time it's my time.
Drake. Time it's my time?
Yes. I will begin then.
Goonie?
I wanted to buy a VCR. My father didn't own one. We had to be the only family in Los Angeles that didn't have a machine, and the lack was particularly distressing to me because I loved movies so much. Honestly, on a Saturday or Sunday, I could go to 3 movies in a row and not get tired.
You and me both, babe.
I had no taste and could watch anything, even low-budget sci-fi films with no story and cheesy special effects. Anything sci-fi sent me straight to technological heaven, as long as I had popcorn. Ah, cookies, boys, movies, and popcorn. What a life.
Lady after my own heart.
Oh my god, let's party, girl.
Anyway, I wanted to buy a VCR, but I only had $200 to spend.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait. This is 1993.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was a VCR, like $1,000?
Okay.
I would say 600 probably.
Okay, but like a 1993 VCR is not the same as like a 1981 VCR. You know what I mean? So like you could probably get an okay VCR for $200.
And $200 in 1993, adjusted for inflation, is a lot of money.
Yes. Anyway.
I'm going to try to Google it, but I don't need to. I had saved the money from my after-school job at our local library, 3 to 9, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Friends at school had told me Circuit City had good prices and a wide selection, so I went there. Wow, we're all old. Remember Circuit City?
I do. I miss it.
$200 in 1993 would be worth $410 today.
I tell you, boy, there was a city of circuits.
It was right next to the shack made of radios.
And everyone worked on commission, so they were really pushy.
Digital video discs as far as the eye could see.
It was a Thursday afternoon, and I had just got out of my art class where I had been working on a brilliant sculpture of my own head. What vanity, I know, but I was having fun. I fucking love her. A handsome young salesman practically jumped me when I entered the store.
Yep. Checks out.
Yep, on commission. I didn't mind because I needed advice on what to buy. The guy was blonde and tan with bulging muscles that looked like they'd been injected.
Ew.
He was about 20 easy California living years old. This is hard to read.
Thank you.
Can I help you? He asked. Yeah, I said. I want to buy a VCR. He gestured to the shelf of VCRs over his shoulder. A glance at the prices made me nervous. Nothing under $300.
We've got a wide selection, he said.
Okay, Chris, I didn't even have to say it. You're good. Good.
Do you know what you're looking for? Something good and cheap. I don't know who is even speaking right now.
Look, if we've learned anything doing this, it's best to have our main character sound like a normal human, so we're not doing fucking Batman for an entire book.
I mean, I am doing Private Eye
I still
speak.
don't know how Elizabeth turned into Batman.
I don't either.
Actually, in my head, they're Private Eye. I just love first person. He was amused. How cheap? $200. You're going to have to spend more. Oh shit!
You
I
fucked
switched
it up.
Something good and cheap. How cheap? $200. You're going to have to spend more than that to get something good. That's all I've got. Do you have plastic? A credit card? Yes. No, I said. I only have a leather purse with 10 20s in it. That's all I've got in the world. He chuckled.
She does sound like a private eye.
Milk and cookies, that's what my pa always said.
He chuckled. Another one of our poor homeless. We get them in all the time wanting to buy sophisticated electronic equipment. He turned. Let's find you a
plug into
VCR you like. Then you can worry about paying for it. In the next
With
5
sex.
minutes, Ed, he had a name tag, explained why he preferred certain brands over others and why $200 wasn't going to cut it. Yet as we wandered down the aisle, I spotted a couple of machines on sale for less than $200. Ed said I didn't want one of them because they had only 2 heads and I wanted 4. With only 2 heads, you have horrible quality when you switch to slow motion. You know, for porn, Ed said. Why would I ever switch to slow motion? I asked. For porn, like I said. I just want to be able to rent movies and watch them. Have you seen Lethal Weapon, the first one? I don't think so.
So good, though.
Okay.
But it's not like you're switching your VCR to slow-mo to watch Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Also, why is their video frozen?
Well, someone's never watched porn on a VCR.
Actually, I have. So yeah, you're right. I need a page.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's it.
All right, there's you.
Yeah.
You must have seen it when it came out on video. It was the hottest thing in the country among women. The reason is because there's a scene near the beginning where Mel Gibson walks across the room butt naked.
That's true.
You've got to have slow motion to fully enjoy that scene. If you only have 2 heads on your VCR, well, you said you watched that movie, you'll probably break your blasted machine.
Pausing on his sweet butt cheeks.
Hey, if you want to have good head, you got to have 4 heads. Hey-o! There you go.
Hey!
I must sort of look somewhat incredulous. I'm not going to risk ruining my VCR just to look at Mel Gibson's butt, I said.
She's ahead of her time.
What's your name? Rela. What kind of name is that? A beautiful one. What kind of name is that? How old are you?
Ugh, Ed.
18. Do I need a license to operate all 4 heads? You laughed. It depends on what you're trying to slow down with all those heads. Look,
Drink every time they say head.
Look, I like you, Rela. I want to give you a deal. If you spend a little more than you want, you'll thank me later. I appraised him closely. What? Am I going to see you later, Ed? That caught him by surprise. He took a step back and scratched his head through his short hair. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing you later, Rela. What's your number? Are you asking me out?
Oh my god.
Yeah, you sound surprised. I am. Why? You hardly know me. You just met me.
What is happening?
This is some rapid fire dialogue.
Someone call Aaron Sorkin to take some notes.
Walking and talking through the Circuit City.
Ed shrugged. I hardly know any of my customers. In fact, I prefer it that way. But you're cute. What are you doing Saturday night? I'm having a party at my house. That's why I want to buy the VCR, so I can show a couple of movies. I paused. But you can't come to the party, Ed. Oh, why not? I hesitated. My boyfriend's going to be there.
George.
You have a
George Glass.
You have a boyfriend? Yeah. Now you sound surprised. You fucking idiot. I'm not actually. I told you, you're cute. I do want to go out with you. Maybe Sunday night. But how long have you known your boyfriend, Ed? Not long, actually. He's just a guy I like a lot. Ed waved his hand. Well, he sounds like a jerk. Let's go to him.
Oh, you like him? Well, clearly you have bad taste.
She did say she has no taste, to be fair.
It's true.
That way you won't have to rent one. I stopped and shook my head. It's too bad I don't have 4 heads on top of my shoulders. Then maybe I could keep up with you. Finger guns. Let's get back to business, Ed. You were going to give me a deal.
She's Natasha Lyonne.
Oh, God. I can't.
Good luck doing that,
I was going to
boys.
say, I can't fucking sustain that for even a page. Let's get back to business, Ed. You were going to give me a deal and get me to pay more than I wanted to. How does this all work? Do you have a checking account? Yes, but that's where I got the $200 in my purse now. I only have $10 left in my account. Ed wasn't worried. You can write us a post-dated check. This is not how Circuit City works. Even in 1993.
No.
Maybe this is how Ed works, though.
Not when you're trying to get laid.
That's true, yeah.
Also, like
He's bending the rules.
You took all the money out of your checking account in cash?
For a
All but $10.
For a VCR. I'll tell my manager I know you and that you're trustworthy. He reached out and put his hand on a black VCR. This is Pioneer. It's pretty popular, and I sell a lot of them. You get 4 heads. The machine's easy to program, and Pioneers seldom break down. Normally, we sell this model for $340. But I can give it to you for $280. Who fucking knew this book would be so much about VCR sales?
Why doesn't she just
I'm
go
all
to a
about
pawn
it,
shop?
actually.
I mean, we're only on page 6.
Yeah. It feels like an eternity, though.
VCRs, the eternal enemy.
Do I get such a big discount because you want to go out with me? Ed grinned. He wasn't a bad sort. You get it because you have a beautiful name, Rela. That's reason enough. I bought the VCR. I didn't have to make good on my post-dated check for 60 days. I figured I'd be ahead of things by then. I'm just trying to understand how that works financially for Circuit City. That instead of having $200 immediately, they'll have $280 in 60 days.
Oh, it's
profitable for
it's
Frito
just
Lay.
wait, what's the word for it? Lying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ed. I figured I'd be ahead of things by then. Ed asked me for my phone number as I was leaving the store. I just laughed in his face. That can be the safest response sometimes. I didn't laugh when he asked me for my driver's license so he could write the number down on the back of the check. I knew it was his job to ask. Is it? I lowered my head and told him I didn't have it with me. He said fine. I was happy driving home with my new toy beside me on the front seat. I kept looking at it, thinking of all the movies I was going to be able to watch. Next, I thought I was going to have to buy an electric popcorn popper
Why?
and get a boyfriend.
Jesus
I know.
Christ.
Didn't they have microwavable bags then? I know they
Yes.
did. She could get like secret.
Get Jiffy Pop, bitch.
She could get secret and have like blue popcorn.
She's
Remember
not-
that
Oh
shit?
yeah.
She's not very.
God, they
Oh,
should make
man.
that again. I knew I had to
Microwaves
call
were
Christopher.
expensive.
They've got a VCR, but no microwave.
I mean, like growing up, we had a microwave, but we also had a popcorn popper. It was just it was the way to get the popcorn perfect.
Yeah, but like, shouldn't
we,
her parents have one?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Maybe
did not
she's
have a
poor.
popcorn popper, and we had bird popcorn.
Maybe she's poor and dumb. She just spent all of her money on a VCR.
I knew I had to call Christopher when I got home to invite him
Ugh.
to my party. I had to give him some notice so he wouldn't make other plans, but I was too nervous to call right away, so I decided to dial my best friend Stacy instead.
Stacy.
Stacy.
I knew that was gonna happen. I had known Stacy for 3 months, but she's my best friend, apparently. I had known Stacy for 3 months since mid-July when I came to Los Angeles to be with my father. I met her at a park. I went there to fly a kite, or rather, to try to fly a
Oh my
kite.
God.
And there's 5 things I love. It's movies,
Milk,
cookies,
cookies,
So,
Okay.
boys,
You guys.
popcorn, and
you
flying a
guys-
fucking kite.
You guys. Okay. Was she lying when she said she was 18? Because she sounds very juvenile. Like,
Okay, I kind
And it was
of.
only 3 months ago, so she
She's
was.
just towering over these 7-year-olds in
An
their
adult.
kites, knocking them down.
I kind of hope nothing happens
Kicking
in this
the
book,
other
and it's
kids.
just her fucking stream of consciousness for like 200 pages, and it's just this shit. Because this is, I'm on my toes.
Oh my god. There wasn't much wind that day, and all my running upside down on the parched lawn wasn't getting my red paper diamond up into the sky. What the fuck? Oh, my red paper diamond.
My red paper diamond.
Fuck. I love this book.
This is
Good
amazing.
choice, John.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
The day was hot and I was sweating gallons.
no one
I
said
think-
that.
Noir book. Stacy had legs up to the sky.
I'm picturing her like completely like stone faced and solemn, like running with this red kite.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try a Natasha Lyonne impression
Oh.
for the next,
good
just
luck.
for the next sentence. I think Stacy must have watched me for a while before approaching me and asking if I was out of my mind.
No,
Yeah, it was
that's
bad.
not working.
It was
You
a
have to get
novel way
1,000
to.
octaves lower.
You have to be super like New York Jewish.
I bet if I was smoking cigarettes, I would nail it. Anyway, it was a novel way to say hello, and I liked her right away for it. Stacy was one of those people who had no time lag between her brain and her tongue. She said exactly what was on her mind. Some people thought she was rude. They didn't know how sensitive she was. Yet, for all her straightforwardness, her wit was subtle. You had to be quick to catch it. Stacy was big-boned and had short, shiny brown hair. She was always making fun of herself. Truly, though, she didn't do this to cover for some unseen pain. Stacy was one of the happiest people I knew. That it's like you literally just took longer to say as far as I knew.
Yeah, you know one person, and it's
Hey,
Stacy.
he's
And I
got
guess
his-
the other person you know is Christopher.
He's got a certain amount of words, Chris. He's got to hit them all.
She was 18, like me. In case you forgot. The day I
Okay.
met her, she took in my situation, cut my kite tail in half, and had my kite flying high 5 minutes later. Hell of a kite flyer, Stacy.
What the fuck is this?
You're
It was
18.
for-
You're both 18.
Right? This isn't like fucking 1930.
Yeah, if this was the
Like
90s, we
kicking a
already had
can
video
down the road
games.
for entertainment.
I met
Yeah.
Stacy when I was pushing a big hoop down the road with a stick.
It was 4 p.m. when I spoke to Stacy. I hadn't unpacked my VCR yet. She called just as I picked up the phone to dial her. Oh shit! What voice should she have?
I don't know. Wait.
Well, she's clearly the fat friend. That's the euphemism we're going for with the
doing-
big
I'm
bone.
not-
I'm not doing a voice for that. Rela, she said, do you walk around with the phone plugged into your belly button? You always get it on the first ring. I'm telepathic, I said. I always know when you're thinking of me. Hey, I did it. You called Chris? Wow, she interrupted excitedly. Stacy also loved cookies and boys. But
Yeah,
more
I
cookies
did.
than boys, am I
Who
right?
loves cookies?
Everyone loves cookies.
That's not a
Rela.
character trait.
Oh, I made that joke, and then the next sentence ruins it.
Oh.
So, one of the reasons she was chubby was that she loved donuts as well and could down a whole box without a single swallow of milk. That's what the book says. I did not make that up. She had no lack of boys
Powdered
calling
donuts, her
though.
mouth would be so dry.
Stacy's a party.
Stacy's like, check out my trick.
She had no lack of boys calling her, though, because, boobs. They felt safe doing so, I suppose, since she went out with anybody who asked.
She was a giving soul.
So,
And by
Jesus
no means
Christ.
a virgin. Holy nice.
My fat friend Stacy was the town whore.
She's sassy. No, I said.
God.
I bought a VCR. Oh.
It's almost like she's acting like her best friend made fun of her to the point where she felt like she had something to prove.
You should. Oh, she was disappointed. You should call him. It's easier to ask a guy out over the phone because he can't see your face. If he says no, you won't have to hide your disappointment. I'm not asking him out. I'm just inviting him to my party. If he wants to go out with me, he's going to have to do the asking. Let me tell you about my VCR. It's got 4 heads.
Oh my God.
Oh, cool. You have slow motion. I wish we had slow motion.
Oh my God.
Last week I watched the first Lethal Weapon and I want to see.
Call back.
How many lethal weapons were out by that point?
Three of them.
By 93?
Yes.
That's crazy.
But you only get those juicy buns in the first one.
Yeah, the 4th one came out in 98. And ladies and gentlemen, somehow I am not single.
Wait, John and Bekah, real quick, have you seen Loaded Weapon 1?
No.
A
billion
Loaded
years
Weapon?
ago.
What the fuck
It's
is
like it's like Naked Gun, Airplane. It's one of those movies.
But
It's a parody.
it's a parody of Lethal Weapon, and it stars Emilio Estevez and Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh my God.
And it's
that sounds
amazing.
insane. Well,
And
I love regular lethal
And
weapon.
Tim Curry's in it.
No,
I'm going to have to check it out then.
I don't remember any of
No,
them.
wait,
I know
not
I've
Tim
seen
Curry. William Shatner's in it.
it. Okay.
What?
I
Those are
confuse
very
the
different.
two.
Yeah.
They're so
Christopher.
similar.
How could you confuse
Well,
the
no,
two?
I think William Shatner's playing a Tim Curry
One of
role
them sounds
from,
like this.
Lethal Weapon
Rocker.
movie.
One of them sounds like this.
I'm sorry. My brain is Swiss cheese, like Sam Beckett from Quantum Leap. John?
Don't say it. I interrupted. It was $280. I had to give the guy a post-date check for $80. He let you? He must have really had the hots for you. He did. He asked me out right then and there in the store. He wants to come to my party. Did you tell him where and when? No. He was covered with bulging muscles. They almost looked fake. If he has your check, he has your address, Stacy observed. Like I said, she was no fool. She went on. Did you tell him the party was this Saturday night? I did. If he comes, you can have him. Anyway, I can't call Christopher right now. Why not? I'll have a heart attack if he says no. He might say yes. There's only a 50-50 chance at best that he'll say yes. I don't want to die. I'm scared. God, this is ridiculous. Are you sure he's not seeing anybody?
Stacy paused. Well, I didn't want to tell you this, but I have seen him talking to Debbie Roston at lunch a few days in a row.
I know Debbie Roston.
Debbie Ross
Ross.
is really fun, actually.
Debbie Roston? God, she's a fox. I hate her. Why does he like her, other than the fact that she's a fox? He was just talking to her. That doesn't mean he likes her. I talk to my brother's old dog all the time, and it stinks. What? Stacy.
These two are 18. These two are
Stacy.
18.
Debbie does not smell like an old dog, I grumbled. I'm not gonna call him. Rela. Stacy. What? Nothing. I've gotta go. My dad's going to be home in an hour, and I want to fix him a feast. What? Stacy laughed. You have to ask Chris out tomorrow at school. I won't have any peace until you do, bitch. I suppose.
I will not know peace.
I suppose. What are you gonna make for your dad? I don't know. Something good. You never told me where you learned to cook. It's just something I picked up over the years, I said.
Interesting.
What the fuck is this? Oh, it's a masterpiece. Sometime later, there were 2 TVs in our house. One in the living room, the other in my bedroom. When I bought the VCR, I intended to put it in the living room so that my dad could enjoy it too. I took it out of the box in my bedroom, though, because I wanted to have privacy while I learned how to use it.
To slow down porn.
Why did I just hear TLC's Red Light Special when you read that sentence?
I read the instruction manual while I darted between my bedroom and the kitchen. There was fish in the freezer. Why didn't you bring the manual to the kitchen? There was fish in the freezer. I decided to cook that instead of the pasta I had been planning. The VCR instruction booklet was easy to follow. Technology was really dancing forward, I thought, as I set the machine to record a movie that was supposed to be on HBO late Friday night. Actually, super early Saturday morning at 3 a.m. I have to be fucking specific because that's an interesting point.
Porn.
Wait. They have HBO, but they don't.
Taxi Cab Confessions.
They don't have a VCR.
Right? They don't have VCR money, but they've got HBO.
They don't have VCR money because they spent it on HBO. It was super expensive.
Each entry I made flashed on the screen. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Excuse me. The film I was taping was an old sci-fi horror flick that I had seen as a kid. It was called It, The Terror from Beyond Space. It. It is in that title twice. Or somebody fucked up typing it, but it says it in italics and a capital letter.
Okay, she's shortening it in the second sentence.
Oh my god. All right. I'm too dumb for this dumb book. It, as we like to call it.
I like to call it ITTFBS.
Was about a space expedition to Mars that had the misfortune of taking aboard an alien monster that had an insatiable craving for human flesh.
So
I remembered how... Huh?
He couldn't get the rights to use the word alien.
I was watching Alien. I remembered how terrified I had been as a kid when several of the crew members were fleeing from the monster and the thing grabbed one of them by the leg from its little mouth from inside its big mouth. All you heard while the camera focused on sweat running down the guys' pals' faces was horrible screaming. What? Help me, please, God, somebody help me. That movie gave me nightmares for months. I loved it. I figured Alien would spice up my party if things got dull. Since the movie was to come on at 3 a.m, I was thankful there were such things as microchips with memories.
Welcome to the future of the 1999.
She's 18, guys. She's 18.
Wow. Memories.
Wait, she segued from microchip memories to real memories.
Hold on. I have to read from before.
Yeah.
I was thankful there were such things as microchips with memories. Memories. Later, did I remember making a mistake programming the machine? No, I didn't. I really didn't. Even now, I don't think I did. It's all a mystery. I left the VCR in my bedroom for the time being. My father came home at 5:45. His name was the Reverend Spencer Lindquist.
Yes!
What the fuck?
So her
He
name
wasn't
is
my real
Rela
father. I was
Lindquist?
adopted.
What?
Whoa!
Why are
Wait.
things even crazier? Spence was the minister at a Methodist church a mile from our house.
Way to bury the lead, Rela.
Wow, Rela.
God.
She calls her adopted father Spence.
Hey, Spence, I made you some fish. I got a VCR. I programmed it to record Alien later.
And she wanted to make sure she made him a feast. Oh, I don't like where this is going.
But I bet the VCR is haunted. That's my guess so far for the book. The VCR is haunted.
But maybe that's just my modern day bias about how everything is terrible.
Oh my god. Oh
Maybe
my
it's
god.
not so bad. All right.
Have fun, Chris. Reverend Spencer Lundquist.
In the book viewer, is there like a full screen option?
What do you mean? No.
In the viewer itself?
Oh, wait.
Oh, can we make it bigger or something?
I mean, I did make it bigger with the little magnifying glass.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Hold on. Click that 2-block thing to bring up the 2 pages thing, because that worked great before.
Oh.
But then you have to zoom in even more.
Yeah,
But
I like the first one, Chris.
I like the other one better because then we could just scroll down constantly.
Alrighty.
But
And then, yeah.
still make it bigger.
That
that
full
better?
screen, but what's that
full
button
screen
next to
button?
the zoom in?
Oh, you're ruining the podcast. That made it
that
way
made it
worse.
worse.
I mean,
That
It
made
was
worse.
full screen.
Oh, I
You
ruined
need to hear about
ruined
this
the
18-year-old
podcast.
girl and her.
I want to know if Spence liked his fish dinner.
Of course he did.
ruined
That's what
the
Jesus ate.
podcast. Like it
Okay.
wasn't ruined when we started it. Okay.
There we go.
He was a modern day saint, and I don't say that just because he took care of me. He worked with the homeless. He spent hours every day trying to find places for them to sleep. He had also started. I'm sorry. That shouldn't be funny, but it's hilarious to me.
All of this is funny. This is insane.
He had also started a successful program in LA called Food for Thought. Leftovers were collected from restaurants
Thoughts
and
for your
supermarkets and hotels and distributed to the needy. His organization had a half-dozen minivans circulating through all parts of the city. How about that? Keeping everything moving and attending to his own church exhausted Spence. He was 45, but looked 10 years older. His hair was already white, and he had a terrible slouch and an irregular heartbeat.
The vet said he wasn't long for this world.
I am not ad-libbing anything. This is just what is written. But he seemed to thrive on the love and thanks he received from those he helped. I couldn't have chosen a better father. So it was your choice.
I know, right? I was like, wait, what?
You were adopted. It was not your choice.
that way.
I smell something fishy, he
That's
said
not
as he
nice.
came into the house.
Rude,
I gave him
Spence.
a big kiss on the cheek as always. He sat down at the table to eat, and I talked about my purchase. I told him the VCR had only cost $180. Of course, I was lying, but
the
I figured
Reverend.
it was only a little white lie, and that
reading
God
ahead.
would forgive me, because that's
Because
kind
God
of his whole
loves Mel
deal.
Gibson too.
How often
Who do you think
from,
made those buns?
How often from that day on did I have to hope God would forgive me?
What the fuck? Oh, yes.
Oh, that was a great first chapter.
That was only the first chapter.
What does she do? Is the VCR haunted?
That's my guess. That's my guess.
Is it a
Chapter
cursed
two.
VCR? Like, did
I'm
she
gonna
go
cry.
to like a monkey's paw Circuit City?
Well, the service was state of the art, but not in the way I was thinking. Chapter 2. Dear Chris, I love you. I want you.
I know.
Do you want me? Do you want me to want you? What? You don't know who I am? I'm the cute brunette who sits 2 seats behind you on your right in calculus. My eyes are brown, and they light up when I look at you. I can see you right now as I scribble out.
Oh, creep.
I can
wish
smell
you would
you.
turn to look at me because I really am kind of cute. I don't mean to sound conceited or anything. I'm on the short side, but my body is your most wonderful dream.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, I fucking can't. I have to stop reading ahead. I'm losing my mind.
Shit. I'm sorry, guys. I have cerebral palsy, and I hope it doesn't pop up.
It's okay. You're okay.
I'm on the short side, but my body is your most wonderful dream. My nose is a button. My smile is a bar of white chocolate. You like chocolate, Chris? I like you cookies. I love you, I think. Even though I don't know you. Maybe it's better this way.
I thought
No,
the
I'm
cookies
such a
line was
god.
ad-libbed, but I opened my eyes and it wasn't.
I just like this straight. I love you, I think. What, Rela, get your shit together.
Okay, you guys, I'm just saying, you've all known me for a very long time. I wrote some desperate live journal posts in my day.
Oh.
Look, we were all on Zanga.
Nothing like that. No, on second maybe it's better this way. No, on second thought, I don't think so, Chris. I feel like I have to know you. I feel they'll be passing each other about becoming lovers. My life will be wasted. But I don't want you to think I just want your body. You're brilliant. I want to eat your brains.
Oh, God.
No, yuck. That's gross. I didn't mean that. But I've been watching too many horror films lately. I'm taping one for a party I'm having. That's an awesome episode.
For the love of God, do not give him this note.
Oh, God, I love...
Crazy bitch.
Would you like to come to my party?
Oh, my God.
Oh, God, it goes on.
Oh, I love this so much.
Oh, my God.
If I had gotten a note like this in high school, I would have been like, no.
You guys.
Even though my emotional maturity at that point was very low, I still would have been like, this is scary.
If you got a note like this and you turned around, there would be a girl behind you going like...
I feel so much better for giving my high school crush a mixtape with Heaven by Warrant on it now. I feel so much better.
That's so much better.
That's a great song.
I have
It is a wonderful song.
He's never gonna listen to this, so I can totally blast him out. And it's David, my friend David, who I grew up with. He's been on the show before. He wrote a letter to a girl in high school one time, and like most of it was Dave Matthews lyrics.
Oh, that's sweet.
I hope he
and
calls
I told
you
him,
up
don't
crying.
give this to her.
I hope he calls you up crying, saying like, I listened to every episode, and why do you put my business out there?
I think it's very sweet, David.
If he was on the show, he would 100% cop to it and defend himself, I'm sure.
I'm just saying. Again, I keep bringing this up. She's 18. She's in calculus. And she described her mouth as, and I quote, a bar of white chocolate.
She sounds like a 12-year-old.
She does.
But also, like
18,
how much...
she can buy cigarettes. She can vote.
Yeah.
You can...
But also, like, how much romance is in, like,
Oh, God. We have to move on.
Would you like to come to my party? The only reason I'm throwing it is so I'll have an excuse to invite you to my house, where my bedroom is. Wink, wink. Do you get it, Chris? Chris. I keep thinking your name and thinking that you must be able to hear me, and thinking that you must know how much I love you. But how can you know when I'm afraid to tell you how perfect you are? The moment I first saw you, I silently hid my heart in a golden box to save for you on the day you turned to me and smiled.
Are those Dave lyrics?
I hope when this letter ends, she's like, I burned what I wrote.
That's Morrissey. The moment I first saw you, I silently hid my heart.
That sounds like a church song.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
It's the same thing.
I keep it
straight. Sounded like a pastor singing in Latin.
Yeah.
I keep it straight and going to go, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true.
I wanted you to hold it in your hands, my heart. I wanted you to hold my fucking beating heart in your hands. I am so sentimental about you. I am making myself sick. Still, I can't help thinking your name, Christopher Zaleski. Chris and Rela.
Okay, but I just want to recognize that the name is Christopher Perry.
Yeah.
The author's name is Christopher Pike.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Like, the idea of him sitting there writing this about this 18-year-old girl pining for him this hard makes me want to barf.
1,000,000% Christopher Pike got fan mail from a girl named Rela, and he was like, I've got a surprise for you.
Yeah.
Or he had a crush on a girl named something that ends in Rela, and he's just like, she'll never know.
Yeah. This was his Across the Sea.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Now, every time I think of Rela now, I'm just thinking like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. The Lola.
Oh, Lola.
Rela. I bet you didn't even know my last name. I can't remember it myself.
What the fuck?
So now she's just attacking him?
Are we sure this is this isn't a post from like a Jordan Peterson fan site or something. Like,
No, it'll end in like, love me or I'll make you.
Yeah. Maybe, I hope she's the villain. Maybe I have the same last name as you. Maybe I will. Rela Perry. I've heard it somewhere before, I swear. Let me tell you how I see you. Fuck.
God.
Today you
How
are...
is this not ended yet?
Today, you are wearing blue jeans and a white t-shirt. Do you ever wear anything else? I don't mean to be critical. I accept you as you are, but I would love to buy you new clothes to show off your beautiful dark
Bitch, you just
eyes.
spent all your money.
I thought you were ad-libbing. My eyes were lost on the page.
I'm not adding a fucking thing. Do you know how I see the night sky when I stare into your eyes? Even from the other side of the courtyard at lunch, I can see the moon and the stars in them.
oh my God.
New clothes would also flatter your dark hair, your strong profile. I mainly watch you from the side. I understand because we are not on face-to-face terms yet. What will I say to you when I do
They're not
finally
on
talk to you?
face-to-face terms.
Your mind is so vast, like the ocean. I feel I could drown in it before I could get my bearings.
I'm just picturing... What's his
This-
fucking name from SNL? Was his name Chad?
Chad, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he's just a fucking 18-year-old boy child. He doesn't have the moon and fucking stars in his
Okay,
eyes. He's
but,
an
like,
18-year-old boy.
She's
Oh, she's not 18. She's either 12 or 60 and a psycho. She's not right for this world.
and then once she graduated high school, she formed Dashboard Confessional.
Yeah, I know I also do well in school, but you have imagination. That's the other thing I can see in your eyes. That you will be great. That the world will remember you long after the rest of us have
my
turned
God.
to dust. What does a genius need with a girl like me, other than to hold and cuddle and love until the wind comes to blow the dust away? Oh no, our loan expired. Guess we have to stop reading this forever.
Read it again! Read it again!
You guys, I'm worried about Rayla.
Yes. Rayla needs help.
We have to talk about Rayla.
Yeah. Does she have a bow anywhere? A bow and arrow.
And snapping out of it, Rayla, Mr. Tudor said. Here, I said, hastily sliding my letter under a scrap piece of paper. I raised my eyes to Mr. Tudor, who was standing beside me with our calculus test in his hand. 2 seats up and on my left, Christopher Pike turned to see what was going on. Such an alert face. He had a higher IQ asleep than most of us had awake.
How do you know?
He already had his test. He smiled briefly at me, and I was momentarily hypnotized. I know you're here, Mr. Tudor said pleasantly. He laid a test paper on my desk in front of me. Catching up on your letter writing? Christopher turned back to face front, breaking the spell. Yes, sir, I mumbled. I suspected Mr. Tudor had glanced at my letter before he spoke, and maybe he had seen Christopher's name. Good luck on your test, he said, even though you don't need it. Thank you, sir. Since I was a straight-A student, I was getting an A in calculus. I thought it must have been in my genes. I always did well at math.
Humble
The
brag.
test consisted of 6 integral problems. I completed them in 30 minutes, about the same time it took for Christopher to finish.
And yet he's so much better than
So
me at
fun.
everything.
I just want to be honest with the other cast members of the podcast and our guests that I don't like hearing my name that much.
Yeah, we'll get used to it because she's literally
It makes
obsessed
me,
with it.
Dude,
Makes me-
Rayla has like pictures of you like all over her room.
But not just my name, because my name's Chris, but my full name is Christopher, and it feels weird to hear the whole thing that frequently.
Because like all of us keep saying it, and you're like, "What did I do? What did I do?
I
What did
keep
I do?"
thinking I'm in trouble. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the only time I'm called that.
Christopher.
Oh, don't. Ugh. I don't like that at all. That is an awful feeling. Anyway, I will do my best. I knew I did each one correctly. I sat staring at him while I waited for the class to end. I was slowly marshaling my courage to ask him to my party. Be cool, I kept thinking. Act like it's no big deal. But at the same
there's
time,
no way that's gonna happen.
make him feel that he's wanted. And above all else, don't burst into tears if he says if he's busy.
God.
No,
After-
I jumped ahead of myself. I thought it would be if he says no. No, it just says if he's busy.
After reading the letter that she was writing, if her saying to herself like "be cool" when she asks about, there's no fucking way she would have. When she talks to him, she's gonna be like, "Chris!"
God. I just really hope that he accidentally gets that paper shuffled around.
That would be amazing.
Me too.
Mr. Tudor finally collected our tests and the bell rang. I gathered up my books and followed Christopher into the hall. It's even weirder when I say it. He was alone for the moment, but I knew I had to move fast. I pulled up on his left side without looking at him. His blind side, because he was blind in his left eye. I hadn't mentioned that before. I hoped he'd glanced over at me and start a conversation. We were not total strangers. We had talked maybe 10 times, probably on an average of 5 minutes each time. I didn't have to wait long for him to speak. The test was a piece of cake, wasn't it? He said. I blushed. It was sweet and sentimental of him to speak of cake.
What?
Which was very sweet while talking to me.
What?
I knew I had it bad for this guy if I was inventing such comparisons, but even to the point of insanity. For you, maybe, I said. He wasn't fooled. You finished sooner than I did, Rela. You always do. He said my name, I thought. How auspicious. I have to study hard, I lied. Actually, I never studied. I hardly ever had to look at the textbook. It was enough for me to listen to Mr. Tudor because he was a great teacher. What do you have next period? He asked.
History.
Christopher's on the spectrum, by the way.
History. Palos. Do you like him? He's a nice guy. I think he makes up history as he goes along. Christopher raised an eyebrow. What makes you say that? I don't know why I said it. It just seemed true. Often the words that came out of my mouth surprised me. I smiled and shrugged. I guess I'm just disappointed that Atlantis and Lemuria aren't discussed in his class. Christopher frowned. I've heard of Atlantis, but what was Lemuria?
What the fuck?
Another mythical contest from the past. It was supposed to have been where the Pacific Ocean is now. You must tell me about it sometime.
How like cute she is, etc.
Yeah.
But she is fucking sitting here trying to flirt with the guy talking about Atlantis.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my go-to.
That is like the weirdest game I've ever heard in my life.
The reason she sounds like a private eye is that she's on the spectrum too.
Yeah. They're perfect for each other.
Another mythical continent from the past. It was supposed to be where the Pacific Ocean is now. You must tell me about it sometime. He paused. I heard you're having a party Saturday night. Oh? Heart failure was Who told you? Stacy. She said it would be alright if I dropped by, but I wanted to clear up with you first. I coughed. You can drop by. You can drop by anytime you want. That night, I mean. That'd be great. I was wondering if I could bring a friend. Oh, my pure heart. Bursting with joy one moment, just bursting the next. Yeah, I said flatly. He glanced over at me. Are you sure? I swallowed thickly. Yeah. He smiled. I've never been to your house. Where do you live? His friend had devastated me. I couldn't think. And Stacy, she gives the best directions, that bitch. I mumbled.
He hesitated.
He hesitated. I'll do that, Rela. I'll see you there. Is 8 o'clock okay? It's okay.
Why did you tell him what you knew he was bringing a friend? I yelled at Stacy when I saw her at lunch. We were in the school parking lot. I'd had enough of education for the day. I was going home. That wasn't unusual for me. If I felt like ditching, I ditched. Often I'd drive down to the beach, walk along alone along the shore. I loved the wind in my hair, the salt air in my nostrils, the sea always settled my mind. Hey, Rhea, come on, get back to it. Of course, today there would be no stroll beside the waves. I had to go to work at the library at 3.
So she has a job.
He didn't say anything about a friend when I told him about the party, Stacy said. You had no right to tell him about the party in the first place. It was no business of yours, see? I thought I was doing you a favor. You were so scared. I thought you'd never ask him. I was not scared. I was just waiting for the right moment. I'm sorry. I sighed. Yeah. I wasn't really mad at Stacy. I was mad at myself for loving someone who obviously didn't love me. It was so frustrating. Why did I care so much about him when I didn't even know him? But that was precisely the point. Just what I had written in my letter to him. I did know him. I just didn't know how I knew him. It was cosmic, or else I was losing it.
Yeah,
oh,
that
you're
one.
losing it. Yeah.
I will have him. How do you know his friend is a girl? Stacy asked. Did you ask him? No, I didn't ask him. That wouldn't have been very subtle of me, would it? But he's bringing Debbie, I know it.
She's cute, Stacy observed. Shut up. Stacy grinned. You're giving up without a fight. If he brings her, we'll spill something on her lap. We'll set her on fire. We'll accidentally drown her in the bathtub. Stacy goes hard. We should drown him for bringing her, I said. We both laughed at the prospect, but the joke wasn't funny. Nope. Indeed, it was just the idea of Christopher being harmed. Just the idea of Christopher being harmed filled me with an inexplicable dread. Of course, that's not a mystery to me now. There were plenty of reasons why I should have worried about him, and I was one of them.
What the fuck is this book? Here, you do the next page.
Okay,
Yeah.
Chapter 3. Jesus Christ. The memory of the dream didn't come to me until the next day when I was buying food at the store for my party. I
love that Coheed and Cambria song.
The memory of the dream.
Until the next day, I was like, we have food for the party!
I had an orange in my right hand and was squeezing it to see if it was ripe when a strange image flickered inside my mind. The picture itself was suffused with a soft orange glow. Perhaps it was the color of the fruit that triggered the memory. There were objects of other colors in the scene, too. There was a gray reclining chair that reminded me of a dentist chair because it was surrounded by tubes and pipes. Beside the chair was a squat blue machine that somehow resembled a computer. The chair was partially covered with white sheets, which may have been made of paper. Moving figures flickered at the edge of the scene, but they were hard to distinguish because the orange light shimmered there like fog pierced by the rays of the setting sun. The people, I had to assume they were people, were only clumsy shadows in my mind. They seemed to be carrying something towards the chair. It could have been a person. But as they moved toward the center of the picture, the whole scene began to fade inside my head. Oh, that was fun.
It still works as a private eye dialogue, but also it's just like, I blinked and focused on the orange in my hand. Everything is exhausting, but it works best as the private eye dialogue.
Oh my god.
I blinked and focused on the orange in my hand. Wow, I whispered. Where had those images come from? Then I remembered I had not slept well the night before, that I had spent hours tossing and turning and getting up to go to the bathroom when I didn't really have to go. Those same images had been a part of a dream I'd had, one that had gone on despite my frequent periods of wakefulness and PE-ness. What surprised me was that I hadn't remembered the dream immediately after I woke up, as I would have expected, but perhaps I had subconsciously blocked it from my memory. Temporarily, a couple minutes, and then I remembered, and it was all good. The dream had been more of a nightmare, I remembered now. A shiver went through me from head to toe. The shadowy figures had been carrying a dead body toward the chair. I put the orange down. I'm sorry. I totally forgot she was just holding an orange.
She's just holding an orange.
A fucking meltdown.
She's holding an orange just like...
So,
staring into
dead
space.
body at a grocery store. So, I put the orange down and steered my cart out of the produce section because, who likes dead bodies? I wouldn't have a fruit salad at the party after all.
Wow.
I decided.
Your teenage guest will be very disappointed.
Rela, where's the fruit?
I wanted to pour a bunch of vodka in it.
I didn't have time to worry
You know
about
how I
dreams.
like my mandarin oranges.
I didn't have time to worry about dreams. I had personally invited 4 dozen people to my party. And
Jesus Christ! Does the Reverend know?
Fucking fruit salad? Spence is cool with it.
Spence is cool with it.
I have a feeling
Jesus
that
would welcome them.
bunch of kids are gonna play. Just where can we find the studs in the drywall?
I had personally invited 4 dozen people to my party, and God only knew how many others Stacy had asked. I had a list of essentials that I had to buy and my dad's checkbook in my back pocket to pay for them. He had graciously offered to pay for all the food, which was a good thing, considering that I had spent every penny I had on the fucking VCR. I hadn't checked to see if the VCR had taped my horror movie, but I assumed that it had. It probably won't come up later.
That's a lot of people to have in a house.
That is an insane amount of people.
To watch a movie.
Yeah.
To watch one movie.
It's not like it's a fucking mansion. It's not like it's the Gilmore grandparents' house.
Yeah.
It's a fucking single reverend that can't afford a VCR.
I taped Alien last night. Did 48 of you want to watch it?
This next part's very
plus.
important.
50,
next
including
part-
me and Stacy.
Yeah.
This next part's so important. At the top of my grocery list were cookies and milk.
Obviously.
Naturally. But I picked up a ton of cold cuts and bread as well, in case the cold cuts didn't have enough bread. I may have been a wonderful cook, but I had never prepared a hot meal for a huge group of people, and I wasn't about to start. Sandwiches were always appreciated, I thought.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Okay, yeah. First of all, yes, you're right.
If I went to a party and there were cold cuts, I'd for sure eat a cold cut.
If I went to a party and there were cold cuts, we've talked about cold cuts before on this podcast.
What's the extra bread for?
I would be like, fucking sweet, cold cuts.
Feeding ducks.
Second of all, I know why she can't remember her last name. She's got amnesia. Her last name is Claus because she loves milk and cookies.
Oh.
Oh,
But why
damn.
does she have amnesia?
Oh, that joke didn't land.
She's Santa's daughter.
That, really didn't land.
Was it worse watching me?
I mean, I wasn't watching you. I was still watching the page in case
Yeah.
I missed something I still had to read. But, oh, that was
fine.
a bad
That's
one.
fine. You know what? I'm just going to get myself another drink.
I was
Can
just
I
like,
just
wait,
say
what's the
something?
thing about
Like-
Santa having amnesia? That part didn't connect.
No, sure. She has amnesia because she doesn't remember she's related to Santa. But she's just like, I love milk and cookies.
She was adopted.
She was adopted.
But why would she have amnesia? That's the problem.
I know, she fell off the sleigh. Rudolph kicked her in the head.
Can I just say something? Okay.
Look, I can figure this out.
Okay, this is gonna bother me, and I just say it before we go any further.
Yeah.
It is the year of our Lord, 1993. You are having 4 dozen people at your house. There is such a thing in the year of our Lord, 1993, as a 10-foot party sub.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay? You just get a couple of those. And some, Subway's got chips.
Yeah.
What's the
Get
fun
some
in that
sun
when you could
chips.
just buy 20 cold cuts?
See, my thought was, why is she taping some fucking knockoff Alien movie when she could just go to Blockbuster?
Yeah,
And get Jurassic
it's
Park or something?
1993.
Go to fucking Blockbuster.
Well, no, she can't afford the Blockbuster membership because she already spent all her money on the VCR.
But
She's trying to save money in
And
the long run.
HBO.
And you know what teenagers love when they
Hey,
show up,
my
right?
family taped a lot of movies off HBO.
I mean,
Like so many. In my parents' attic right now is just a shitload of movies that were taped off HBO. Like so many. You have no idea.
I'm just saying, Blockbuster. I don't know the cost comparison between a Blockbuster membership and an HBO subscription.
HBO would definitely
I'm
be
just
more.
saying,
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
So you're having.
I feel like Blockbuster was like $15 a year.
you're having 4 kids watching a movie on a TV that's like 19 inches max.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. I'm sorry. I had to return to the produce section to get tomatoes.
Monitor.
Look,
But maybe
John, this
it's a lot
book is
like now.
impenetrable.
Maybe it's a lot like now where like you invite 4 people, but only a quarter of them are going to show up.
That's true.
Only 1 dozen.
I had to return to the produce section to get tomatoes, lettuce, cucumbers. Try not to look over at the oranges. I went home with the groceries and started cleaning up the house. My father was at the church. He had promised I could have a house to myself for the night. He was going to sleep at an associate's place. Oh, shit. I was hoping that some of the girls from school would sleep over and that the party would turn into a slumber party. You're 18!
Oh, right? This is 12-year-old shit.
You say that, but like we have slumber parties all the fucking time.
I know. I would. Oh my god! I can't even tell you how much I would love to have a girl slumber party right now.
I mean, I would totally come and be the bitchy friend, please.
Yeah.
I'm really good at it.
We could all do each other's nails. I would love that shit.
And then,
but also, it's like I sleep in your guest room, but it's still a slumber party.
It is. It's true.
But like the way she's describing it, it's like she's expecting these girls to come over with their Rugrat sleeping bags.
Yeah.
Or like Rainbow Bright or whatever.
Yeah.
I bet it was still Rainbow Bright. If they're 18, it was definitely Rainbow Bright.
I went home with the groceries.
Or
She-Ra. The princess of power.
Yep.
I went home with my groceries and started cleaning up the house. My father was at the church and had promised I could have the house to myself for the night. Okay. It's a bad sentence.
Is he spending the night in the church?
He was going to sleep in an associate's place. I was hoping some of the girls from school would sleep over. And then the party would turn into a summer party. Except for Stacy. I had no friends. Except for Stacy. I had no close friends at school. But then, I hadn't lived in the area for long. Stacy arrived at 4 to help. She brought 2 vases of flowers and some Halloween decorations.
Why?
Although, Halloween was only a couple weeks away.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
She festooned the living room with long, spiraling orange and black streamers, and even carved a pumpkin and put a candle inside it. Stacy and I thought we had made a mistake not having the party a week later and making it a costume party. But I had purposely chosen competing with a rash of parties that would begin the following weekend.
That's smart. That's what we do.
Yeah. You gotta get in there early in October.
Yep.
At 7:30, people started to arrive. I dashed upstairs to change. Actually, I didn't have a lot of clothes to choose from. I still had on a pair of black pants and orange blouse, in keeping with the season.
And my dream.
When I returned downstairs, I found that Stacy was letting people in by the carload. I began to relax. I'd been afraid that no one would show up. Yet I didn't relax so much that my attention was riveted on the door every time someone new arrived. Where was Christopher? I asked myself. What would Debbie be wearing? I had a general game plan for the night. First, I was going to let people eat and drink and listen to music and mingle.
You're going to let people.
I was going to let them. A few people had brought beer, but since I was living in a minister's house, I had decided to turn the other cheek and limit myself to a couple of cans. I'm sorry.
Wait, that's
what?
That's turning the other cheek? What? Turning the other cheek is drinking beer underage?
Only a couple.
Makes sense to me.
Only a couple, Bekah. Then, later, I was going to have a few organized games like charades and Trivial Pursuit.
Did the movie Mean Girls get the inspiration for her Halloween party from this
Oh my
book?
god, yes.
Or not the Halloween party, just the party where she thinks it's going to be a few people.
Yeah. I had also brought a tape of old TV.
She wants fucking 50 children to sit there and listen to old TV theme songs.
I had also brought a tape of old TV theme songs. The object of that game would be to listen to it and identify the program the particular song had come from.
This sounds like a game they would play at a nursing home.
Jesus fuck, Rela. No one wants to play that game. Then I was going to put on a movie. Maybe the one I had taped. Maybe Stacy's copy of the first Lethal Weapon.
So they keep specifying the first Lethal Weapon.
which she had so thoughtfully remembered to bring. It was close to 9 when Christopher came to the front door with Debbie in tow.
Boo.
Debbie, boo! Debbie was stunning in a short, tight black dress, her blonde hair all over the place, her lips on fire from her bright red lipstick, tits pointed to heaven.
What does that mean?
Christopher had on his usual jeans and t-shirt, but was still the object of all my desires.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Debbie sounds hot, though. Maybe you should pivot.
Yeah.
I mean, Debbie looks like she could party, man.
Yeah, Christopher sounds boring.
Yeah.
No offense, Christopher.
I greeted them with a wonderfully winning smile, and I told myself that they seemed happy together. I told them there was food in the kitchen, and then I ran upstairs to blow my brains out.
It's my party, and I'm crying by one.
I ran upstairs to blow my nose and wipe my eyes, but I wasn't devastated. No! I had been forewarned, and life went on. And even though she was cute as pie, some might say...
She's into Debbie!
Some might say a cutie pie.
Oh,
I knew Debbie couldn't count the number of brain cells inside her skull on her 2 hands, even if one of the hands held a pocket calculator.
don't be like that, Rela.
Come on, Rela. I next played the tape of the old TV show theme songs, because fuck my
And
party.
everyone hated me.
Everyone
Who's this narrator? Me?
Everyone took an index card and a pen and wrote down the name of the show the theme song came from. Naturally, the person who identified the most songs would be the winner.
Oh my god, it's like a fucking
Now,
baby shower.
I had never listened to the tape before I put it on. Where
Okay.
did you get it from, bitch?
You guys, this is the beginning of the Beastie Boys video for Fight for Your Right.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, does it
Someone's
start with a
about-
really boring party?
Yeah,
I don't
and then
remember that video.
then someone's gonna go kick it, and then it's gonna be awesome. And then they're all gonna have a pie fight for 10 minutes.
Who do you think's gonna say kick it? I think Stacy.
Stacy, for sure, Stacy. Now, I had never listened to the tape before I put it on, and I hadn't glanced at the card inside the cassette box that listed the TV shows.
But as I listened to the songs, I knew every one of them immediately. Bless you.
Bless you.
I
Bless
hadn't
you.
realized I'd watched so much TV growing up. There was Bewitched and Star Trek and The Lucy Show.
No
are
one
all
watched the
easy.
Lucy show.
It was like a nostalgia trip. Excuse me. But I knew I couldn't win my own game at my own party. People would be suspicious, and they'd really care. So I set my card aside when people started to read off their choices.
Oh yeah, she
were
she overthought this a lot.
Yeah. There were 30 songs on the tape. Stacy got 25 correct, the highest score. Christopher, even with Debbie's help, I hadn't said that was allowed, only got 10 right. Guess he's not so fucking smart. He said he hadn't watched a lot of TV growing up, but it was Christopher who, just as Stacy was taking her bows, insisted that I reveal how I had done. In fact, he snatched up my card, his eyes widened when he saw what I had written. Hey, he told everybody, Rela got them all right. Did you really? Stacy asked. Well, I said. You cheated, Stacy said. No, I said. Had you listened to the tape before? Christopher asked. No, I said. I just bought it today. Sorry, this is really boring.
You get a Bekah page.
Bekah page. I glared at Stacy. I didn't study the paper that came with the cassette either. How come you didn't tell us you had all of them right? Christopher asked. He was sitting on the couch beside Debbie, who, I learned, was also new to the area. He was so close his outstretched feet kept bumping into mine. What? All right.
Okay.
Sure.
Debbie was staying near him, but was not kissing him or anything that would make me want to vomit in her face.
Good.
I lowered my head at his question. I don't like to show off the fact that I spent my formative years in front of the boob tube, I said. She cheated, Stacy said again. I deserve the prize. What is it, Rela? I looked over at her. You get to keep the tape, I said.
Everybody
terrible.
laughed.
We went on to charades, busy with restocking the food I couldn't play. I was chopping carrot sticks in the kitchen by myself when
Oh
Christopher
my God.
What kind of
walked
like
in.
teenage party has beer and carrot sticks?
I
A good party.
Why don't you have Doritos like a normal
and
person?
this bullshit game?
Yeah.
A party with
okay.
health concerns.
You gotta balance out the booze with the beta carotene, okay?
He had a can of beer in his hand, but appeared completely sober.
So
Much like real life Christopher. I smiled quickly at him, but it felt strained. Looking for the restroom, I asked. No. He set his beer down. Wait, his voice should just be my voice. No. He set his beer down on the countertop and settled himself on a stool near me. I haven't drunk that much. How are you doing, Rela? I kept the smile plastered on my face. Oh, I'm just singing in the rain, waiting for it to snow.
What the hell?
What
Are
does
you
that
enjoying the
mean?
party? It's a great party.
She's 80 years old.
Yes.
You don't like charades?
Fuck.
He shrugged. It's all right, but like I wanted a chance to talk to you alone. What? I feel like I never talked to you at school. We're always just like passing in the halls. I forced a laugh. It's hard for a girl to get near you when you're surrounded by women like Debbie.
Women.
He was puzzled. Debbie's my cousin.
Oh. Okay.
Oh my god.
Really? I gushed. My bayonet-sized vegetable chopping knife in my hand.
I stabbed him.
Why? Why are
I
you
bet-
cutting vegetables with a fucking machete?
I bet she was gushing. Hey-o.
Hey, sploosh.
My basement's flooded.
I didn't know that. Wow, that's great. I mean, having such a beautiful cousin. I'm from
I wish I had a cousin I wanted to fuck.
I'm from Shelbyville.
Some states are cool with it.
He regarded me strangely. What made you want to throw a party? I've decided he's the wild pig from Rocco's Modern Life. I wanted to meet more people at school. I just moved here this summer. Where did you move from? I hesitated. I always hated to talk about my past.
Why?
Back east.
Back east?
Where
Are
I
you
killed a
here with
bunch
your-
of people.
Are you here with your parents?
Nothing good happens in the east. We know that. We're from here.
It's true.
Yes, my father. I don't have a mother.
You don't have a father
I'm-
either.
All right.
It's a long story. How about Debbie? Where's she from? Wisconsin.
Okay, if I was him, I'd be like, who gives a shit? What's up with you?
Yeah.
What is this?
She's into Debbie.
She just got here last summer. That's when I got here. What a coincidence. You're Christopher Green. You're funny, Rela.
No,
she's
she's
not.
not.
I chuckled. Yeah, I'm hilarious. People die of laughter around me all the time. Hey, I heard you're applying to Caltech. Okay,
Pretty funny.
again, these kids
Yeah.
are 18. He's applying to a very prestigious college. And it's a party with charades, vegetables, sandwiches, and
It's like-
cans of beer.
It's like that movie.
Old school
guess
video or
the
old school TV.
Okay,
theme
it's like that
songs.
movie Orphan. She's actually 80.
Yeah.
But she's got that disease and she looks 18.
He nodded. I am, but I'm not sure I'll get in. You? They'll roll out the red carpet for you, see? You have a straight A average, don't you? I even heard they've already offered you a scholarship. Meh. That's far from definite. What are you going to major in? If you do get in. I hope to double major in physics and computer science.
Fuck.
That's
I want to
quite,
be in school for the rest of my life.
that's quite a stretch. It might be a lot of work, but I don't see the two subjects as similar. If
They
you
are.
think about it,
Right?
much of our subatomic research is already carried out with the help of computers.
What?
That will just increase in the future. We have a new generation of computer every 10 years.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
Did you know that scientists at IBM are experimenting with crystals to store data?
Oh my god, is Christopher Pike a huge like fucking technophile?
Oh my God.
I don't remember that coming up before.
And that little boy that nobody liked, who loved to be Elon Musk.
And nobody liked him then either.
No. I think more accurately, it would be, and that little boy that no one liked grew up to write a book about Elon Musk.
I just read about it in Scientific American. In one stroke, we'll be able to access data 5,000 times quicker. That's amazing, I said. Yeah, the whole field of computers is exploding. You know how logical
Oh my God, so
processors work
boring.
now on the serial system? That's where you have all code and binary arrangement. A switch is either on or off. Well, now fuzzy logic is being developed. That's where you have a third choice as the fundamental level of the system. Something is not simply yes or no. It can be maybe.
Is he the fucking what's his face from Kids in the Hall now?
Gavin?
Gavin. He's
These kids
just
from school?
Gavin.
Hey,
Fuzzy logic.
these kids from school taught a dog to smoke. I smiled. Maybe what? I wanted to encourage him to talk since he had never really talked to me before for any length of time.
But I know
this
his
was
brain is
fucking
large.
torture. Yet I wished he'd changed the subject. For all my prowess in mathematics, I had never been comfortable with computers. Also, fuck, it's boring.
Yeah.
Maybe anything, Christopher said. A thinking machine could be the result of this third choice. It really excites me. He looked at me shrewdly. But it doesn't excite you, does it?
Now he's Gene Belcher.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say, rather, that it worries me. What? Why? Specifically? Tell me. Specifically. I worry that we'll become so dependent on computers that we'll cease to think for ourselves. We'll lose our humanity.
Okay, boomer.
Have you heard of, have you seen this movie called Terminator by James Cameron?
Was that out in 93?
It was.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the eternal enemy's AI, by the way. That's
Oh,
my
fuck.
thought right now.
Oh, still the VCR, cursed, haunted VCR AI. Ooh,
How
those
is there AI in a VCR?
4 heads!
What? That doesn't explain
It's
it.
got 4 heads!
Oh my god,
It
you're so loud.
thinks better.
And
I know, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We'll lose our humanity. You honestly believe that? I do. He chuckled. You've been watching too many Terminator movies.
called
you
it.
go.
Uh-oh. Oh no. The
book can hear us.
The real AI was the book all along.
The real AI was this scan of a book from 1993.
The real AI was the friends we made along the way. You've been watching too many Terminator movies. A computer doesn't know anything until it's programmed. Even then, it's not conscious.
Oh my god, I really don't want to fucking have a whole chapter about computers.
Read about computers, Bekah. Tell us about 1993.
They say it got smart. Pardon? It's my favorite line from the first Terminator movie. Maybe it was that line that made me start to worry. I'm a very impressionable young lady.
You're
Christopher
18.
nodded. Possibly a machine could become smart, but we'd always know where the off switch was. Anyway, I appreciate your point
Unless
of view.
it hit
I
it,
mean, did you watch
Christopher.
RoboCop? Like that fucking big thing would just tear you up.
Yeah.
What was that thing called?
Ed 209.
Ed
Ed
209. You go turn his off switch off.
Oh yeah. You gonna just turn off Skynet? Huh?
Think about
And
that, Christopher.
209 was RoboCop.
Did you see Lawnmower
I
Man?
know. Yeah, I brought up RoboCop.
Did you see Lawnmower Man, Christopher?
I haven't seen
He's
Terminator.
in the internet now.
You
he can make
haven't
all the
seen
phones
Terminator?
ring.
I'm sure I have seen Terminator, but not in a way that I remember it.
I don't
Well,
know if you have
Terminator
actually. We've
1
never
is
watched
really-
it.
They're great.
You made me watch some Terminator movie.
I made you watch Terminator 2 because it's awesome.
Because
I
it's
don't
the
remember it.
it's the best
What
action
happens
film
in
I've
it?
ever made.
What about Aliens, though?
I
what did
like
John say?
Terminator 2 better.
I
love
wouldn't
Aliens.
say.
He said best action movie ever.
I don't think Aliens is an action movie.
Neither do I.
Even hotter take. I'm sorry. What? It's a nonstop
Well, no,
roller coaster ride, guys.
It is a nonstop roller coaster ride, but
In
what makes
space.
Aliens good is the characters. Whereas, like Terminator 2 is one of the best action movies ever made.
An action movie is defined by a series of action set pieces.
That's true.
Correct?
Yeah, and I feel like T2 has more than Aliens.
Oh, T2 slows down a lot in the middle.
Aliens is quite small.
A single thing
T2
about
is
it.
large.
Aliens is... I'm going to go ahead and say
Okay,
it again. For the
Alien
people in the
and
back, a
Aliens
non-stop
are
roller
different
coaster
movies.
ride.
Jesus Christ.
Who knew this was the fight we were going to have?
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that like T2, as far as just standard action movie protocol goes, is more of an action movie than Aliens.
We had this
When
conversation...
did we watch it?
What, Terminator 2?
Yeah.
Ooh, forever ago.
Okay.
We had this conversation a while ago, though, and I think actually I fall on the side of, personally, best action movie ever, Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes.
It's in there.
I mean...
I don't like ranking things because it stresses me out for some reason. And I always feel like when you do think about ranking things, putting modern stuff in it feels wrong. And I don't know why. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Fury Road is an incredible action movie.
I mean, I agree with that 100%. Fury Road, I think, instantly was classic. The first time we saw Fury Road, I was like, I have never felt this way.
Oh my god,
in
I wanted to
theater.
fight somebody. I wanted someone to pick a fight with me on the way out of the theater. I wanted to fight a person.
Seriously. Holy shit, spiked my adrenaline.
I thought my face had melted off.
Yes, fucking for
Yeah.
real. From the second it started until it ended, I was just like, I've never seen a movie like this.
And that's what makes Fury Road so good, is that you compare it to modern action movies, and so much of Fury Road was done practically.
Yeah.
Which is my
so
whole-
it takes the cake.
Yep. Which is why Top Gun Maverick was so good.
We haven't seen it
still
yet
haven't seen
because
it.
we still need to watch the first Top Gun with you, John.
yeah.
Because I haven't seen it since I was little.
That will
And
be
I
me.
keep forgetting to make those plans.
And then it's like, and then for the last 20 minutes, John cried the whole time.
That's fine. I'm expecting it. We'll bring tissues.
I cry a lot of things. I cried so much at Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, Jesus
I cried
Christ.
for like 45 minutes straight in that movie.
I cry at everything now. Like, I mean, shit. Like, I watched an episode of Cheers the other night that brought me to tears.
Aw.
Cheers for tears.
Cheers
Cheers
for
for
tears.
tears.
Cheers for tears.
Tears for tears.
That's my new band.
I play a game where I'm like, I'm gonna listen to Phoebe Bridgers, and I'm gonna see how long it takes me before I start to cry, and it doesn't.
What's the average?
And you start crying when you think about the game.
Well, no. He starts crying before he hits play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, she's gonna sad things.
Because you're already thinking about the song before you even hit play, and then you immediately start crying.
Okay. Anyway, Christopher says, I appreciate your point of view. I'm not the cold young scientist that I appear to be. I'd like to minor in psychology on top of everything else. The human mind fascinates me. Did you know that I have a biofeedback machine in my bedroom? I use it to get into a deep state of alpha.
What a
I'd
come
like
on.
to show it to you sometime. What the fuck does that mean?
Someone listens to InfoWars.
He's gonna hook that machine up to the VCR.
Oh my god, oh god. Maybe it was the invitation to go to his bedroom that distracted me. Whatever the distraction, I accidentally let my left ring finger stray into the path of the blade as I sliced the carrots. Ouch!
No.
The stainless steel cut me almost to the bone before I felt it.
Oh, Rela!
A thin film of blood sprayed over my nicely cut carrots. I dropped the knife and raised the wounded finger to my lips. Then I felt the pain. It's amazing how a bad cut feels like a burn. That's cool. Thanks for telling me. The coppery taste of blood filled my mouth. Christopher was off his seat and by my side in a second. Are you all right? He asked. Oh, I groaned, my finger still in my mouth. This was no tiny nick. The blood was leaking out the sides of my lips and dropping onto my orange blouse. At least I thought I would die in his arms.
Oh my god!
Priorities!
What?
Did you cut the finger off? He asked anxiously. I had spooked him for sure. He was white, and he's the priority here.
Yeah.
I just hope Christopher makes it through the situation. Okay?
Just take care. Just make sure you take care of Christopher. Rela.
Why do I have a feeling it'll end up in an episode of Dateline with like Keith Morrison, like a normal party,
Yes.
chopping up carrots.
All right. I don't know. I mumbled, lying. Check all the carrot sticks to see if one has a ring on it.
Good one.
Christopher shook his head, not amused by my humor. He reached out to help me, and I noticed his fingers were shaking.
Get it together.
I'm taking you to the hospital, he said. No.
Maybe you shouldn't have been cutting carrots with a fucking meat cleaver, you
Right?
dumbass.
I took the finger away from my mouth, and the blood dripped onto the cutting board.
Spray those carrots.
It's my
are ruined.
party, and I can bleed if I want to.
Hey!
Would you stop joking,
She's just
Rela?
like pale and delirious from blood loss.
She's like, stop.
You're really bleeding. He was upset, and I felt bad for making him feel worse. For my part, I was calm.
You should feel bad about your finger wound.
I bleed all the time. The sight of blood didn't really bother me. I grabbed a small dish towel and wrapped it around the wound. Red blossomed in a circle on the white material. I put pressure on the cut, which wasn't easy to do. The sight of blood might not have bothered me, but the pain of the cut did.
Yeah.
It hurt like hell.
You cut to the bone, you idiot.
Yeah, you need stitches, Rela.
I'll be all right in a few minutes, I said. The
No, you
bleeding is
won't.
slow.
No, you won't. You almost cut your finger off.
Are you sure? He asked. Yes. I still want to take you to the hospital, Christopher said. Ugh, my name. It's the worst.
Relish it.
I was touched by his concern, but puzzled at the strength of his reaction. After all, I'd cut my finger, not my throat. He continued to breathe rapidly. I smiled to reassure him. I'm not going to die, Christopher, I said gently. He sat back down on his stool and lowered his head. People are so fragile because I kill so many of them, he muttered.
It really makes you think about the Terminator.
I felt such love in that moment.
What?
It swept
What?
over me like a warm wave.
No, that's shock, you idiot.
Yet, and this was odd, this comment also bothered me. I didn't know why.
Because it's not a thing that normal people say.
This people are so fragile, I said, meeting his gaze. He held my eyes a moment just before lowering his head as if embarrassed. You should get stitches. He's right, Rela.
Yeah, correct. Yes, that is correct.
I'll put a bandage on it. It'll be fine.
No.
When
no.
did you last get a tetanus shot? I laughed. I'm not going to get a tetanus. Relax. Just then, Ed from Circuit City came.
Oh, God. I forgot about Ed. Ed, get out of here.
And by the way, if you work at Circuit City, there's nothing famous about you. Poked his head through the kitchen door. He had on a tie.
I forgot about him.
Yeah.
And his shirt was straining against his muscles. He looked as if he had just come from work. He made a face when he saw all the blood. Having a little argument with your boyfriend, I see.
Good one, Ed.
Hi, Ed. No, just cut my fingers. Come in and get something to eat. Just don't sample the carrots. Christopher, this is Ed. He sold me my VCR. Ed came in and shook Christopher's head. So you're Rayla's guy. You don't know how lucky you are to just have such a devoted woman. I used to have every one of my high-powered lines on this girl, and she still would not go out with me. Can you imagine that? Turning down Eddie Farmer?
Wait a minute. The Eddie Farmer?
Oh
I didn't
my
know that was
God.
him.
Dude, I've had a thing for him for years. Okay?
And his last name is Farmer?
I mean, I've been on Farmers Only for like years. I've never. Christopher took back his hand and put it in his pocket. Ed had obviously enjoyed crushing it. Christopher said casually, they sometimes give off a lot of static. Ed took a step back. You sound a lot like Rela. That's because he's not my boyfriend, I said. He's my cousin.
What?
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 What is that?
Wait, go back up. My
Yeah.
brain checked out.
Uh-huh.
Who is she saying is her cousin? saying
I think she's saying Christopher's her cousin.
I'm like, what the fuck? She
Because
is
she
fucking
wants
delirious.
to impress Ed.
This bitch has lost so much blood.
I know, right?
It's sprayed.
Yeah, it's sprayed all over the carrots.
I mean,
You can see bone.
you guys, I might be a prude and I might be old-fashioned, okay?
Uh-huh.
But generally,
When you bleed on someone, they're yours.
and also, when somebody's finger gets chopped off, the party's kind of over.
Yeah.
Kind of kills the vibe.
We already played the what show is this song from? I mean, is there anything left to do at this party? Christopher glanced at me, amused. Ed was confused. Is your boyfriend here? He asked. I don't have one, I said. That was just a line of mine to keep you from hitting on me. But I told Stacy about you, and she's more than available.
Oh my god, don't whore out Stacy.
Stacy's good for it. She's a slut, Ed. I bet if you go upstairs, she's up there right now with her clothes off, waiting for you. Ed brightened. Is she that babe who let me in? I shrugged. Probably. Grab some food and go talk to her.
She wants food.
We're going to put on a movie that I recorded with the VCR you sold me. I groaned involuntarily. Oh. The towel I had wrapped around my finger was getting no bloodier, but the finger was beginning to throb now because of the fucking gaping wound. Rela, this one's gonna keep me awake. Hold for her laughter. You should take some aspirin, Christopher said.
So you bleed more.
Right? Thin that blood.
Yeah.
Have some more beer.
Christopher said, still concerned. I decided right then that he could not be present at the birth of our first child. Okay, hang on a second. Okay. I get it. I'll read it again. I decided right then that he could not be present at the birth of our first child. He'd just faint watching that head crown around my cervix. I had already decided I was going to marry him.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah. You've been more than transparent.
Okay, but again, you're 18.
No, she's 80. She's 80. She's lived 1,000 lifetimes, John. Despite my physical pain, I was happy that he was showing interest in me.
Oh my god, this is giving the fucking Jessica Wakefield in book 3 vibes.
Yep. Wait. What are we even talking about?
Aspirin.
Aspirin. I can't, I said. I'm allergic to them. They do funny things to me. You know.
Like, kill me?
They make me jump up and down. Sometimes they make me talk in funny voices. Ed popped open a can of Coors and grabbed a sandwich. A cold cut. Beer does the same thing.
Cold cut. Get it? Cold cut?
Cold cut! Beer does the same thing to my head, bro.
Coors.
He said, and burped. Exit Ed.
Hopefully forever.
I went upstairs to take care of my finger. The cut was deep. I was worried it would scar and had second thoughts about Christopher's...
on your fucking finger?
And had second thoughts about Christopher's offer to go to an emergency room. Yet, I decided I couldn't leave my party just when it was beginning to roll. I bandaged the finger as best I could and returned to my bedroom. You gotta put a fucking butterfly stitch on that at the very least.
Put some ice on it. Slow that bleeding. Jesus
I
Christ.
disconnected the VCR from my TV and I carried it downstairs with the tape inside.
Well, then how did they have the fucking tape she played earlier if the VCR was
That was like a cassette tape. It was audio.
Okay.
It's like...
Also, you know that VCR weighs like 30 pounds. She's only got one good hand.
That's true.
Also, like, you spent your last $10 on a cassette tape of TV theme song.
It's okay. She got it from Publishers Trading House. Stacy and Ed met me in the hall of the living room. Movie time, I said.
Ed tells me you cut off your finger, Stacy said. I was just trying to get Christopher's attention, I said. I thought he was your cousin, Ed said. Debbie's Christopher's cousin, Stacy said.
Oh my God.
You knew that, I exclaimed. No, Stacy said. Debbie just told me. I'm getting confused, Ed protested.
In the back of the scene, I blew my brains out.
Yeah. Oh boy. I brought the VCR into the living room and hollered for attention. I explained what our movie choices were, and the majority voted to watch It. Handicapped as I was, I let Christopher hook the VCR up to the TV.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, what part of that do you take umbrage with, John?
As a handicapped person, and by the way, I can still use that word because I can. You chopped off your own finger, you moron! The hospital.
Self-inflicted finger
Holy
wound
shit.
as I
If
was.
I was there, I would press this button and the fire department would be right there. I'm holding up my life alert. Video, man.
Shit.
Yeah, So if I ever get stuck in the park or the Grand Canyon, I'm good.
We'll send choppers for you at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy, it took him about 10 seconds to set up the VCR. I don't believe that. There's got to be so many plugs. There's probably
like
the
80.
RCA plugs.
It would take me 15 minutes currently to set up a VCR. Yeah.
He rewound the tape to the beginning and came over and sat beside me on the couch.
Someone in the room yelled, "Put it on channel 3. You gotta put it on channel 3.
Put it on aux. Did they have aux then?
No, it was channel. No,
Channel
you remember
3,
that you had to put it on a channel.
Debbie was in the kitchen or the bathroom, maybe. Forgotten.
Oh,
Forgotten
Debbie.
and discarded.
Just like hot Debbie off to the side, like, no one likes me.
Debbie's like, I'm just a cousin.
I'm just a hot cousin.
Just a hot cousin, and I'm forgotten in the bathroom.
I wore my tightest dress. Look at this body, guys.
Oh, that's why she said it. She was calling him out in a lie. Because he was like, oh, she's my cousin.
He
But,
never
like,
lied
maybe
about
she
her
isn't.
being his
He
cousin.
didn't lie, though.
He never lied about her being his cousin.
Well, he said friend. I guess he could have said cousin.
I guess, but I mean, yeah, Rayla's crazy. She's
It
like,
is weird that he would have said, I'm going to bring a friend, and said, I'm going to bring my cousin.
that's true. Well, maybe he just thinks of his cousin as his friend. Okay, now that
Yeah, I
actually sounds like
guess.
they're fucking.
No, that is weird. My finger pulsed with pain to the pulse of my heart, but I felt content for the first time in a while.
That's how it
coming out of it.
works.
I felt the warm embrace of death. That feeling wasn't to last long. The movie wasn't at the beginning of the tape as it should have been. Instead, there was news. I wouldn't have been that surprised if it had been at the end of a news program. It was always possible, I thought, especially late at night, that the program preceding the movie could have run a few minutes over. Except it was from HBO, so that shouldn't have ever been a consideration.
There's no news on HBO except for John Oliver, and that's now.
Well, yeah. But clearly the news was just beginning. I jumped up to turn it off. I must have programmed in the wrong date, I said, reaching for the stop button.
And channel.
I didn't have the remote on me. Wait, Christopher said. You may have just missed the movie. Give it a few minutes.
Fast forward.
No, I said. I hit stop on the VCR. The TV screen filled with static. I did it wrong. Did it wrong and my finger hurt.
I did it wrong! Chop. I'm gonna chop the rest of it off.
Are you sure? Ed asked. I'm sure, I said. Why don't we fast forward it a few minutes to check it out? Stacy suggested.
Good idea.
Stacy
suggested.
Stacy suggested, sitting on the floor beside Ed. I said I'm
Giving him a hand
sure.
job.
I
Nailed it.
snapped, suddenly impatient. Rela, Stacy said. I took a deep breath. We'll watch your movie, Stacy. Oh, nope, it's her talking. We'll watch your movie, Stacy, or else I can run out and rent a couple of movies, okay? Can we just drop it? The whole group was staring at me strangely. Christopher stood. I wouldn't mind driving over to Blockbuster with
Right?
you, Rela, he said.
Yes.
We can watch the news until you return. I'm fucking up all the voices.
Why?
We can watch the news until you return, Ed said. That would be too boring, I said, leaning over and pushing the eject button. It was capitalized, so I felt the need to
The
pronounce
eject button.
The eject button. The tape slid into my hand. We'll be back in 15 minutes. As Christopher and I were leaving the house, I heard Stacy say, I think Rela accidentally recorded a skin flick and knows it.
Okay.
I love Stacy.
Yeah, it looks like the news.
Okay, guys, I just want to say, like, as an old person who was in Blockbuster.
What are you, like, a year older than John?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're younger.
I was gonna say I'm
He's
older
only
than
a year older than us.
I'm older than him.
Blockbuster's not a 15-minute thing. It's 30 minutes minimum.
Yeah. You're going to spend, at least 15 minutes just in Blockbuster.
Yeah,
Just
like,
picking out
unless
the
there's a
movie
line.
before you check
What is
out.
Blockbuster like 1 minute
Yeah.
from your house? It would
Unless
have
you
taken me 15
walk
minutes
there.
just to get
Blockbuster
there.
is like an event.
Yeah.
You spend 20 minutes picking the movie, and then sometimes you spend 10 plus minutes in the line. when there's
Blockbuster
Yeah.
on a
line.
Saturday night, that shit was hopping.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, we got to get
Packed.
we got to get those bunch of crunches that are always being
Oh,
advertised.
I love Bunch of Crunch.
Also,
Me too.
Blockbuster
Great.
on a Saturday night in 1993, good fucking luck getting anything good that's not already checked out. You're stuck with Critters 3.
Guess what? You're watching Mixed Nuts with Steve Martin. Which I don't know if it's good or bad or not, but it was always there.
I hope anybody.
I feel like I always remembered seeing a movie called Ice Spiders.
Mhm.
Like, I never watched it, but I just remember seeing a DVD of Ice Spiders.
I think what you were
forever.
seeing was the Ice Pirates.
No.
No, it was spiders.
Because I know Ice Pirates is a real movie. I don't know Ice Spiders is a real
Don't
movie.
you, Chris, believe women, all right? If you went to Blockbuster on a Saturday night 1993, all you're coming home with is Jewel of the Nile or Flash Gordon.
Ice Spiders, 2007.
Nice.
I guess I was in college when I was going to Blockbuster still.
That's okay, so was I.
I feel like I went there with my ex-boyfriend that I was dating right before we met, so the time checks out. I feel like we went to Blockbuster all the time, and I remember seeing Ice Spiders.
I also went to Blockbuster all the time with my ex-girlfriend before we met. I used to buy their fucking used DVDs all the time because I was
Not
poor.
even in this movie.
Yeah. I remember, like, you would buy the used DVDs from Blockbuster, and they would have like the matte the matte plastic instead of like glossy plastic, and you're like, this is bullshit.
Patrick Muldoon was in Ice Spiders. I don't know who that is, but he was in Starship Troopers apparently.
It's a funny name.
Oh,
Anyway.
he's the guy that Denise Richard leaves Casper Van Dien for.
Well, how would
Welcome
you ever
back
leave
to-
Casper Van Dien?
I mean, he's pretty, but he's stupid.
Yeah, well,
But that guy's also
like a
obviously, I mean,
religious
that's
nut job, I
Rayla's
think.
type also,
That's true.
obviously.
Is he in a couple of
Way to bring it
God's
back
Not
to the book.
Deads?
A couple
I
of what?
think so.
What'd
I
you
think
say?
he's a member of the God Squad, is what he was saying.
Oh, no.
Oh, Casper Van
Is he
Dien.
in a God's Not Dead? I feel like I've seen his name.
What's God's Not Dead?
You've never heard of God's Not Dead?
Oh,
No.
Oh my god. All right. Well, once we get off the air, I
Is
All
it?
right, so-
Yeah, go on. Sorry,
Well,
we
go
got
on.
Moving right along. The Blockbuster video outlet was just down the street from my house. My nerves were on edge as
was
I
just
got
down the
in
street.
Christopher's car for the short hop. He couldn't help but notice my discomfort. I wouldn't be embarrassed, he said. I often make a mistake programming my VCR. You said yourself it was a new machine. I remembered how easily he'd set up the VCR, even with the complexity of the cable box. I don't think you make many mistakes. Is your finger bothering you?
Based on
No,
what?
I'm fine, really. I lied as I came back to consciousness. My hands trembled and I clasped them together in my lap.
what was wrong? I wondered. Gee, I don't know. Your finger is bleeding.
You're
and, like,
in shock.
you could probably get gangrene at this point.
Yeah.
What was wrong? I wondered. I hadn't wanted to watch it that much. I decided that being close to Christopher was intimidating me more than I realized. Or you could be in shock. This is a nice car, I remarked. What kind is it? A Mazda 626? Is it yours? Yeah. Yeah, I just bought it this summer.
I want to look that up.
Nice to have the money, I said. I don't have it now, but I can make
Bitchily.
it back quick. What do you do? He chuckled. I fix VCRs, personal computers, stereos, TVs, anything electronic. I used to have to advertise to get business, but word of mouth is good now. A few regular technicians in the area bring me...
Oh, sorry. We were looking up Mazda
Sorry,
626.
here's what a Mazda 66 looks like in 1993.
Well done. Well done.
Oh, where's
Wow,
Chris? He missed
real
it.
sexy, regular looking sedan.
Must be nice to have the money.
Got
Yeah.
that Mazda money.
A few regular technicians in the area bring me their stuff whenever they get backed up. Wow, you really earned your boy genius nickname, I said, lighting up a Chesterfield. No one calls me that. They do behind your back. Really? Absolutely. He smiled. You have a nickname too.
Uh-oh.
I don't believe it. No one at school knows me. What is it? It doesn't matter, but everybody does talk about you.
Oh, God.
What did they say? I asked. I'm not going to tell you. You have to tell me, see? Is it bad? No, but I'm still not going to tell you. You're driving me crazy. I just can't sleep. I'm so excited. I'm in too deep.
Oh, no. Load.
We gotta
Load.
borrow again.
Load. Oh, God. I have to borrow again.
Wait, how long have we been going? Is it time to stop?
It is time
I
to-
don't want to stop. Like,
Well, we'll go to the end of
I
this
want to
chapter.
read forever.
I know. It is almost time to stop. I have no idea how much is left of this chapter, though. You're driving me crazy.
Yeah.
You're driving me crazy.
I thought you liked me. You're driving me crazy, okay.
I thought you liked me. I blinked. What made you think that, Mr. Christopher?
Ew.
Jesus Christ.
I crossed my legs. He was taken aback by my serious tone. I didn't mean anything by the remark. I just thought. Oh wait, he's Gavin. I just thought, that you didn't find me offensive. That's true. It's true. That's what the book says. What's true? It's all true. I wasn't going to tell him straight to his face that I liked him like a fucking psychopath. I assumed he was pulling my leg when he said people talked about me. There was nothing to talk about, I thought. Really, Rela? Because you seem insane. Like, absolutely insane.
Like, I'm getting Bridget Fonda in Single White Female vibes.
Yeah, I'm getting like Fairuza Balk in The Craft vibes. Like, if I saw Rela...
I mean, she's like furiously writing in a notebook while staring at a boy, eating a box of cookies and flying a kite at 18 years old. And people are gonna talk.
Yeah. I should have realized that was what people enjoyed gossiping about most. What? That there was
Having nothing to talk about? She's so boring. Let's talk about how boring she is.
How's your finger? He asked. My state of mind is not dictated solely by my sore finger, bub. I smiled sweetly to let him know I was kidding. Took a long drag from my cigarette. You don't need to keep asking me that, Chris. He nodded to the video store up ahead. We're almost there. Yeah. I've enjoyed talking to you. We should talk more sometime.
Oh, you switched up the...
wait. He nodded the video store. Oh. Okay. We're almost there. Yeah. I've enjoyed talking to you. We should talk more sometime.
Wait, it doesn't make sense.
But that's what it says.
But no, I mean, who's saying that line?
She is.
That sounds like... Okay, but it...
Yeah, I know.
It should be him.
I know, I agree.
Okay.
He nodded to the video store up ahead.
Then she said...
I said, we're almost there. Yeah. I've enjoyed talking to you. We should talk more sometime, he said. I knew right then that he wanted to ask me out. It went straight to my head. Yeah. But you know what they say. What do they say? He asked. It's Chinatown. Talk is cheap.
What the fuck?
What she actually said was, talk is cheap. He was perceptive. He knew in that moment that I knew of his secret desire for my luscious body.
Wow, somebody who likes herself.
Do you want to go out sometime? He asked. No. I was horrible. Simply awful.
I don't fucking understand.
Oh my god.
You guys,
What disorder does she have?
I seriously understood the brothers Karamazov more than this.
This is fucking baffling.
This is really, it's indecipherable.
He seemed disappointed. Oh, I'm not allowed to date. My father, he's a minister, you know, has taught me that boys are the road straight to hell.
He lets you have 4 dozen kids with alcohol in his house, and he's not there.
And you're 18.
Hang on a second. You said the road straight to hell, which makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
What's written is the straight road to hell.
Oh, my brain corrected it.
Your brain corrected it.
Because that was insane.
No one says
boys are the straight road to hell.
What does that mean? As opposed to the gay one.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. My brain's broken. He frowned. Really? Don't you think that's kind of extreme? I shook my head. He told me that boys are only interested in one thing. Sex, sex, sex. It's one thing. Oh my god, I was gonna make this joke, but then she says it. It's only one thing, but he always says it 3 times, so I won't forget. I was gonna make that joke.
What?
And then that was in the book.
What?
Chris was offended. Not all boys are interested in just sex. I acted surprised.
Offended.
Really? Yeah. I acted disappointed. Oh.
What?
Chris was confused, the poor boy, and the rest of us.
I am a
Rela.
poor boy.
Rela? Yes. Are you pulling my leg? I giggled. I can't believe what I said next. The thought of the guy had terrified me the day before, and now I was verbally seducing him. Are you?
That's not what you're doing.
Are
what
you?
you're doing,
That's not what
what
you're
you're doing is
doing.
I think you're
torturing.
confusing the fuck out of everyone. No, but I'd like to pull it on. Wait, no.
Oh my god.
Are you pulling my leg? No, but I'd like to pull on it, I exclaimed.
And by it, I mean...
Oh, then, blushing like a tomato, I clapped my hand over my mouth. Christopher
Blood went
began
everywhere.
to laugh softly. Blood sprayed out of my hand. And, oh my god. Jesus fucking Christ. Where should we go on our first date, he asked. I removed my hand. Anywhere you want, Mr. Christopher. And then a stamp from the Florence High School Library of Florence, Colorado.
I'm not allowed to read ahead.
It was on the same page.
No, I know. You were scrolling down. I
Oh,
was like, no.
how dare.
Holy
Well, that was the
shit.
beginning of a book.
Holy shit.
There were
God.
some words on a page.
Guys, I love this book.
Yeah. She's 18. And I feel like I've said that a million times. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying I was, like, the world's most mature 18-year-old. But I wasn't, like...
No, yeah.
Let me put it this way. I did not bring a tape of TV theme songs to Emily Lewis's basement in 2005.
Which, truly...
She feels like Tina Belcher. Like
She
if Tina
does.
Belcher
Oh
had
my
the same
God.
personality and was 18.
Yeah.
Like
Like
this girl
age-
definitely has posters of unicorns in her
like
bedroom.
age Tina up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
Tina's
John,
not
I
a
know you, and that
psychopath.
seems like something you might have done.
What?
Done what?
Just to bring the cassette of TV theme songs.
No, it would be the soundtracks of movies.
It would be just be hair bands. I'd be like,
I was just gonna say, or it would just be like like episodes of wrestling,
do you guys like Poison?
but audio only.
I mean, that's how I seduced mine. That's how
Like,
I-
listen, you can really hear the. I don't know enough about wrestling. You can really hear The Rock giving that guy's the people elbow. That's it. I nailed it.
Yeah. Well, like, if you guys have ever wondered what it's like to date me, I sent, because I'm going to this convention and a bunch of old wrestlers are going to be there, and I sent Dylan a picture, my boyfriend, a picture of the Brain Busters with their manager Bobby the Brain Heenan, and he just texted me like, "You're just going so you can recreate that photo, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Shut up. It's gonna be worth it, damn it. Gonna grace our mantle."
You're gonna have such a good time.
But I'm not as psychopathic as this girl, and if I cut my finger off, I would go to the hospital.
John, no one's as psychopathic as this girl. This chick is on a different fucking level. We have read some crazy books. Like, we had truly read some insane books on this show with, like, crazy protagonists. And this, I don't know. Like, memory is bad and grass is always greener, but, like, this, I feel like this is up there already in, like, one of the fucking craziest, like, protagonists of a book, right?
Yeah.
Like, first person insanity.
The, like, 3 solid pages of her psycho diary that she's writing about a person while staring at the person really solidified it.
Honestly, just the...
And the, like, slowly fucking bleeding to death when I went to Blockbuster. I love this book.
This book is incredible.
Is the rest of the book in her head because she's, like, in
She
shock?
died in his car.
I do feel better about myself.
It's a Jacob's Ladder.
Because you picked it, or just from reading it?
No, because like I'm as like horribly needy as some of my live journal entries were. They weren't that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I wore a fedora, okay? So I am.
Hey man,
like,
I did too.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, damn it, it's gonna work out. And it didn't work out.
At some point this year, last year, I was like going through the basement and I was cleaning some stuff out, and I was just like going through giant Tupperwares full of shit, and I found a diary that I wrote when I was like 12.
Oh no!
And it's in it. Like, I just read a little bit. I'm like, oh no!
How much kite flying was in it?
But that's what exactly.
It was
None.
like 90%.
It was
90% kite flying.
It was bad, and
Big
it was
red diamond.
It was bad, and it was really a lot of just like, I like a girl and I don't know what to do about it. Like, a lot of that kind of bullshit. But like, it wasn't anywhere near as batshit crazy as this.
I didn't start out my book with, I like cookies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like cookies and boys.
If there's one thing
And
I can tell
movies
you
and
about me is
popcorn.
I like cookies, and cookies
milk.
go great with milk. Wow.
Milk.
Okay. This was fucking great, and I loved it, and I cannot wait to continue this book. John, thank you so much for
Thank you for having me. It was a
coming on here.
blast, guys.
Yay. I'm glad that you got to be our first guest for this one, that you picked
Yay!
a fucking banger.
I'm glad I made a good choice.
For anyone listening, is anything you want to plug about yourself, or?
My Instagram is jnagle1985. My Twitter is @jnagle4, and very occasionally, whenever I can get a ride and in an accessible room, I still do stand up, and I'm pretty funny.
He's
I've
extremely
been told
funny.
that, so
Yes.
you know.
We've seen your stand up multiple times, and it's fucking incredible. You're great.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chris.
I have nothing to plug other than this, what we're doing right now. This and the Sketchy Show, which also has Jonathan and sometimes Bekah and sometimes our buddy John Walker. Well, no, usually
I was going to say always,
Yeah.
always John Walker.
and it's a great show, and you should check it out.
Go to cactusradio.com/podcast and check out the Sketchy Show and more of this below grade level on iTunes and Stitcher and all that kind of shit. And I draw
We have an
comics on there
incredible
sometimes, too.
backlog. Check it out.
We do have an incredible backlog. It's quite...
Go listen to some old CD reads.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll...
Officially done or just
No,
on indefinite
not officially.
hiatus? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Movie club's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine with me.
That's fine. Yeah.
The world does not need one more movie podcast.
No. I feel like once COVID hit, it was just like, we don't really need to do
Yeah,
this.
we could
But
just
you
have
guys-
these conversations offline.
Yeah.
So you guys don't want my podcast about the Andy Hardy cinematic universe?
The AHCU.
I mean, I'll listen to it. That was it for this episode. Join us next time to find out what happens with Rela and her bloody finger. Holy
At the
fuck.
Blockbuster.
At the Blockbuster. God damn it. I love this book. Cannot
I
wait.
hope she doesn't bleed all over those, like, remember those cotton candy bites they had at Blockbuster
No.
that I never actually saw anyone buy?
Yeah, I know. I don't.
I hope.
That's
I
unpleasant.
remember them, and I never saw anyone buy them either.
Yeah.
I'd eat it. Just hearing about it, I'd eat it. She's definitely going to bleed all over them, though. All over those, like, Skittles and shit.
And as soon as they get wet, they dissolve.
Yeah.
On that note, thanks for listening. We love you. Bye.
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 Below Grade Level is a Cactus Radio production. You can contact us at podcast@cactusrodeo.com. Subscribe and follow on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify, and follow Cactus Rodeo on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more entertainment and updates.